Hey friends, and welcome back to A Simple Truth. 2 Samuel and Psalm is what we're going to be looking at today. So specifically 2 Samuel 22 and 23 and Psalm 57. So if you remember yesterday, we were talking about some of the David's prayers for mercy as it relates to him being corrected by God. So we've been following the tale of his son and how his son was attempting to overthrow his kingdom and how he was overthrown and God judged him as well. But again, this comes from all that fallout of David and Bathsheba. God saying, hey, I'm going to give you strife from your own family. And indeed, that's been happening. So today we are going to be looking at some praise from God's deliverance for that. As also, so this is I think it's the Blue Book Bible plan. And it has been very, 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 by and large, chronological beginning to end. We're going to do something a little weird today, which is kind of interesting that they do that, in that we're going to see David's last words. And I remembered a couple other things that David is doing in his life. And so I had to look ahead and see that. So we're going to see his last words today, and tomorrow or the next day, we're going to see his census, something that didn't make God happy, and we'll talk more about that. So, but for now, for some reason, the chapter before talks to his last words. So we're going to take a look at that, just so we're on plan and I'm not all over the place. But again, we'll see all of this, 2 Samuel 22 and 23, and then Psalm 57. So, chapter 22. Then David spoke to the Lord on the words of this song on the day when the Lord had delivered him from the hands of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, "The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the God of my strength, in whom I will trust. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold and my refuge, my Savior, you save me from violence, and I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the waves of death surround me, the floods of ungodlessness made me afraid. The sorrows of Sheol surrounded me, and the snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried out to God. He heard my voice from his temple, and my cry entered his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundations of heaven quaked and were shaken, because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, with darkness under his feet. He rode upon a cherub and flew, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness canopies around him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. From the brightness before him, coals of fire were kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. He sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning bolts, and he vanquished them. Then the channels of the sea were seen. The foundations of the world were uncovered. At the rebuke of the Lord, at the blast of his breath of his nostrils, he sent from above. He took me, and he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, for they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He also brought me into a broad place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands. He has recompensed me, for I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes, I did not depart from them. I was also blameless before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanliness in his eyes. With the merciful you will show yourself merciful. With the blameless man you will show yourself blameless. With the pure you will show yourself pure, and with the devious you show yourself shrewd. You will save the humble people, but your eyes are on the haughty, that you may bring them down. For you are my lamp, O Lord. The Lord shall enlighten my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop. By my God I can leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in him. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? God is my strength and power, and he makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer, and he sets me on my high places. He teaches my hands to make war, so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your gentleness has made me great. You enlarged my path under me, so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and destroyed them. Neither did I turn back again till they were destroyed, and I have destroyed them and wounded them so that they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet, for you armed me with strength for battle. You have subdued under me those who rose against me. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, so that I destroyed those who hated me. They looked, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but he did not answer them. Then I beat them as fine as the dust of the earth. I trod them like the dirt in the streets, and I spread them out. You have also delivered me from the strivings of my people. You have kept me as the head of nations. A people I have not known shall serve me. The foreigners submit to me. As soon as they hear, they obey me. The foreigners fade away and come frightened from their hideouts. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Let God be exalted, the rock of my salvation. It is God who avenges me and subdues the peoples under me. He delivers me from my enemies. You also lift me up above those who rise against me. You have delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the Gentiles, and sing praises to your name. He is the tower of salvation to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David and his descendants forevermore. Chapter 23. Now, these are the last words of David. Thus says David, son of Jesse. Thus says the man raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over men must be just, ruling in fear of God. And he shall be like the light of the morning, which the sun rises, a morning without clouds, like the tender grass springing up out of the earth, by clear shining after rain. Although my house is not so with God, yet he has made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things and secure. For this is my salvation and all my desire. Will he not make it increase? But the sons of rebellion shall be as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands, but the man who touches them must be armed with iron and the shaft of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in their place. These are the names of the mighty men of whom David had Joash-Bashbeth the Tachumite, chief among the captains. He was called Adino the Ezonite, because he had killed 800 men at one time. And after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo, the Aheliotite, one of the 3 mighty men with David when they defiled the Philistines who were gathered there for battle, and the men of Israel had retreated. He arose and attacked the Philistines until his hand was weary and his hand stuck to the sword. The Lord brought about a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to plunder. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agi the Haratite. The Philistines had gathered together into a troop. There was a piece of ground full of lentils. So the people fled from the Philistines. But he stationed himself in the middle of the field, defended it, and killed the Philistines. So the Lord brought about a great victory. Then 3 of the 30 chief men went down at harvest time and came to David at the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, and the garrison of the Philistines was in Bethlehem. And David said with longing, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink from the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." So the 3 mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines, drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink it, but he poured it out to the Lord. And he said, "Far be it from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is this not the blood of the men who went in jeopardy of their lives?" Therefore he would not drink it. These things were done by the 3 mighty men. Now Abishai, brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief of another 3. He lifted his spear against 300 men, killed them, and won a name among those 3. Was he not the most honored of the 3? Therefore he became their captain. However, he did not attain to the first 3. Benaniah was the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man from Kabzeel, who had done many deeds. He had killed 2 lion-like heroes of Moab. He also had gone down and killed a lion in the midst of the pit on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a spectacular man. The Egyptian had a spear in his hand. So he went down to him with a staff, wrestled the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, did, and won a name among the 3 mighty men. He was more honored than the 3, but he did not attain to the first 3, and David appointed him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shemaiah, the Harodite, Elkiah, the Harodite, Helez, the Paltatite, Ira, the son of Akesh, the Tekotite, Abiezer, the Anathnatite, Mehubnai, the Hushtatite, Zalman, the Halohite, Aholtite, Mahariah, the Nephanotite, Haleb, the son of Banah, the Nephanotite, Ittai, the son of Rabai, from Gibeah of the children of Benjamin, Benaniah, a Pirathonatite, Hiddai, from the books of Gash, Abi Albin, the Arbathite, Asmaveth, the Barhuthmite, Elishaba, the Shalbanite, of the sons of Jashan, Jonathan, Shema, the Haratite, Ahiam, the son of Sherar, the Hiratite, Elphalet, the son of Ashabai, the son of the Machathite, Eliam, the son of Athiliophel, the Gileonite, Hezrai, the Carmelite, Perai, the Arbite, Egal, the son of Nathan of Zobah, Benai, the Gadite, Zelek, the Ammonite, Naharai, the Berathatite, armor-bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, Ira, the Earthatite, Gareb, the Earthatite, and Uriah, the Hittite, 37 in all. And lastly, Psalm 57. Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me, for my soul trusts in you, and in the shadow of your wings I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed by. I will cry out to God Most High, to God, who performs all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me. He reproaches the one who would swallow me up. God shall send forth his mercy in his mouth. My soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue is a sharp sword. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bound down. They have dug a pit before me. Into the midst of it they themselves have fallen. My heart is steadfast. O God, my heart is steadfast. I will sing and give praise. Awake, my glory. Awake, lute and harp. I will awaken the dawn. I will praise you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing to you among the nations. For your mercy reaches into the heavens, and your truth into the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. So I think what immediately stuck out to me, I had a couple things, but I think the one that stuck out to me was that story that we had actually heard before, when David is thirsty and he wants a drink from the well of Bethlehem. And these 3 mighty men, just these amazing stories of these mighty men, these 3 mighty men go into enemy territory and get a drink from that well, and bring it to David. And that alone is just an amazing story. But then you have David not drinking it. And whenever I think about that story, I always think if I was one of those men, I would have really mixed feelings. My first thought would be, you kidding me? Like, we went through all this to get you this water, and you're not even drinking it. And yet on the other end, David said, really symbolically, this is your blood that you've paid with this for. You could have died, and so your life was for this water. So he's honoring them in that as well, recognizing the value of men versus the value of this water. And so I think it was something that always struck me. And it is interesting that we read this story before. I'm positive of it, but for some reason it had us recap this account here as well. But it just made me think, like, am I valuing others? Am I valuing others this much? So again, these are David's men. They're people of his regiment. So presumably God's people, God's men as well. And am I valuing God's people like this? And further, am I valuing all of God's people, all of God's creation, regardless of whether or not they believe in him or do not? Am I holding in highest esteem God's creation. And I can say I'm absolutely not, which is incredibly sobering. But it is an encouragement as well to see something like this and to recognize I'm here as vapor, here for a fleeting moment. And so are all those around me. So to appreciate them, to pray for them, to respect and love them. Doesn't always mean agree, but respect and love. So, but yeah, that was the first thing that I took out from it. Again, if you want to see that, 2 Samuel 23:17 is where that is. Again, very, very cool story. Crazy, but super cool. Anyway, that's what I saw, what I focused on from today, and so much. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm hoping you're getting enriched by this as well. Yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. See ya.